On this vote, the ayes are 218, the nays are 211, with one answering present. The resolution is adopted.
Leadership and voice will not be diminished if I am not on this committee for one term. My voice will get louder and stronger, and my leadership will be celebrated around the world as it has been.
The vote you are about to watch is not just a routine roll call. This is the kind of vote where the room gets quiet, people stop pretending to check their phones, and a few careers start sweating. This is the moment when the scoreboard lights up and reality hits. For years, the radical left has said anything they wanted about America, about our allies, about our history without consequences. Today, that free trial expired. Listen closely when the numbers are red, because that silence afterward is loud. That's the sound of Democrats realizing accountability just walked back into the building. One Republican stood up, took the gloves off, and said what everyone else was afraid to say out loud. No buzzwords, no feelings, just facts. And it hit like a brick. If you enjoy watching hypocrisy get exposed, double standards collapse, and Congress actually do its job for once, smash that like button, subscribe, and stay right here. Let's watch the full clip before I give you the full breakdown.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I rise to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows. House Resolution 713. Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota and removing her from the Committee on Education and Workforce and the Committee on the Budget. Whereas Charlie Kirk was a lifelong advocate for freedom of speech, civil political discourse, and the political engagement of youth. Whereas Charlie Kirk was a man of deep faith, a husband, and a father to 2 young children. Whereas on September 10, 2025, Charlie Kirk was assassinated on the campus of Utah Valley University while exercising his First Amendment right to freedom of speech. Whereas on September 11, 2025, one day after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Representative Ilhan Omar gave an interview on Zateo's town hall with Mehdi Hassan in which she smeared Charlie Kirk and implied he was to blame for his own murder. Whereas on September 12, 2025, 2 days after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Representative Ilhan Omar reposted a video on X, formerly known as Twitter, which disparaged the character of Charlie Kirk and those mourning his death. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X states Charlie Kirk is dead, and before the body got cold, the far right propped his corpse up as a cudgel for their holy war. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states, don't be fooled. These people don't give a single shit about Charlie Kirk. They are just using his death to further their Christo-fascist agenda. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was a reprehensible human being. He enacted his political agenda by preying on weak-minded people. He took complex socioeconomic issues and simplified them by pointing fingers at outgroups, demonizing those groups, and sicking his massive following on them. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was a stochastic terrorist, an adamant transphobe. He denied the genocide happening in Palestine. He believed the subjugation of women, and in his last dying words, he was spewing racist dog whistles. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was Dr. Frankenstein, and his monster shot him through the neck. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further blames Charlie Kirk for his own murder. Whereas Clause 1 of Rule 13 of the Rules of the House of Representatives provides a member, delegate, resident commissioner, officer, or employee of the House shall behave at all times in a manner that shall reflect credibility on the House. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar's actions in the wake of the assassination of Charlie Kirk are reprehensible and affect the dignity and integrity of the proceedings of the House and do not reflect the credibility on the House. Now therefore be it resolved that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker, and Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee on Education and Workforce and removed from the Committee on the Budget of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've heard from my colleagues the reasons why the Representative Omar should be removed from this committee, but I feel like all the reasons have not just yet been stated, which is why I rise to add for the record. We've heard about the comments that were made regarding anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli views, but I rise to add to the record that as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I've sat there and heard the representative actually spew anti-American rhetoric as well. I've been in that committee room where the representative equates Israel and the United States to Hamas and the Taliban. Absolutely unacceptable for a member of that committee. I've also heard the representative equate that it is the United States' fault that there is turmoil in Venezuela. That is not because of the oppressive socialist and communism that has spread throughout Central and South America in Venezuela at the hands of the Maduro and Hugo Chavez regimes. That is unacceptable. And as a New York representative, to hear the representative belittle, to try to diminish the worst terrorist attack on United States soil on September 11, 2001, as some people did something, that is unacceptable as well. And I hold the same standard for this side of the aisle that I do the other, because when another colleague on my side said something about 9/11, I also voted to have her removed from the Education Committee because I thought that was inappropriate. So I'm being consistent here, and I hope my colleagues will do the same to show that this is about consistency and accountability, because we should not have an individual with those views on the committee that is tasked with representing our country and our Congress to foreign nations. I yield back.
Now that you've seen it, let's be honest. That was a long overdue reality check. Nicole Malliotakis came in with receipts, not slogans. She didn't deal in vibes or feelings. She talked about what she personally heard in the Foreign Affairs Committee. A sitting member of Congress equating the United States and Israel with Hamas and the Taliban. That's not bold criticism. That's anti-American insanity, and it has no business anywhere near foreign policy. And the left wants us to pretend that's normal? Absolutely not. The Taliban are terrorists who stone women, ban education, and murder dissenters. Comparing them to the United States is not edgy, it's offensive, dangerous, and disqualifying. Malliotakis was dead right to say you cannot represent America to the world while openly despising America. That's not partisan, that's basic standards. Then came the Venezuela nonsense, blaming the United States instead of socialism for a socialist collapse. That's straight out of the Bernie Sanders handbook. Blame capitalism, ignore reality, repeat until someone believes it. Venezuela didn't fall apart because of America. It fell apart because socialism does what it always does. Wrecks economies and destroys lives. Calling that out isn't controversial, it's factual. And diminishing 9/11 as some people did something? That alone should have ended the conversation years ago. Malliotakis even made it clear she applies the same standard to Republicans. That's called consistency, and it completely wrecks the left's favorite excuse. Then Nancy Mace stepped in and turned the pressure up. A censure resolution laying out behavior that goes beyond politics and straight into moral rot. Smearing a murdered man, blaming him for his own death, and reposting content that dances on tragedy. That's not compassion. That's cruelty wrapped in activism. This is the modern left in a nutshell. Preach tolerance, practice contempt. They don't want debate, they want destruction. And for once, Republicans didn't back down. They drew a line and enforced it. Today was a good day. Accountability showed up. Adults took control. And Ilhan Omar lost privileges she never should have had. If this is what a backbone looks like in Congress, we need a lot more of it, and fast.